Oh yeah, that was the weird thing. There was an interview with her recently where she was saying, like, I've always wanted to give proper closure to this series. It's like, what? Wasn't that what Alien 3 was supposed to be? You die at the end.
It's like, it reminds me of Harrison Ford, like, wanting to do more Indiana Jones films.
Yeah.
Like, bow out gracefully. Sigourney Weaver seems above that, but I guess actors are naturally narcissistic and
it might be a thing where she has affection for the series and it's become like a nostalgic thing now. Like, oh, it's been so long, I would like to go back and do another one. I don't think it's for Buddy. She's doing fine. She's in Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Maybe she likes aliens. Maybe she likes science fiction. Maybe she likes monsters. You don't know.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't.
Has she been in any movie that hasn't had, like, some kind of alien sci-fi element?
Oh, sure.
Has she been in a normal movie? Has she been in many?
She's been in plenty of movies.
Name one. I'm just curious. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying it's never happened. I can't think of any.
She's been in, fuck.
Anyway, so there's the droid control ship from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The movie's about an alien that hides in the shadows and how you're scared that it's going to eat your face.
It's great world building to have this giant, like, you know, you see it and you're like, it's clearly some, you know, other alien race, but I don't understand Ridley Scott's obsession with wanting to explore that more.
Alien works as a standalone movie, and it's almost like the Borg, Rich, you know, when we talk about the Borg. The best of both worlds is it.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do with the Borg. The Borg are, it's a giant cube in space of soulless people. That,
unbeatable monsters.
Unbeatable monsters, yes. And the purpose of the Borg was it terrifies us, the thought of us losing our humanity or individuality, and one of our own becoming one of them.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the story.
We don't need to learn
anything
anymore.
else. You're just rehashing that.
Anything else, it's not important. Alien, it's, look at these great sets. Isn't it weird? Isn't this alien weird? It's terrifying. What we don't see is terrifying.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. Aliens took a little different twist on it by making it an action movie, and that made it. That was successful.
And it expanded the introduction of the Queen, where the eggs come from.
Yeah.
The Queen is a schlocky idea, though. They basically gave the Alien franchise a boss monster, a video game boss monster.
But it does tie in thematically with, you know, motherhood and all that stuff. So
that works. And then after that, it's like, no, we don't need a backstory. We don't need to learn that the space jockey was a 9-foot-tall blue man.
So what about this movie?
I will say the first half of this movie is more interesting to me than the second half, until Ripley's all alone, because there's this long stretch where it's basically just a slasher movie, very well shot and very atmospheric, but I wish I could see for the first time again, like not knowing where it's going, where you discover the reproductive system of the alien.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is on this guy's fucking face, like, this is terrifying, what is happening?
You don't know the whole process.
Yeah.
Why does this thing need to be on his face that long? I mean, it's basically just shoving a thing in his stomach.
Well, you don't know how long that process takes, Rich.
Well, if we're going to talk about the alien life cycle and the process therein, we should talk about that. Because it makes just about as much sense as the Gremlins. Where you have a lot of questions.
And probably the most important thing, don't ever feed him after midnight.
Apparently, Harrison Ford turned down the Tom Skerritt role in this. Which I'm kind of glad about. Like, I like that this movie, I mean, we know all these people now, but, like, no one knew Sigourney Weaver when this was made.
No, that was her first film.
Was it her first film? Okay, I know it was early in her career, but...
No, very first acting job other than commercials or something. She was doing plays or Broadway or something.
Sure.
But, yeah, her very first role.
But yeah, like, I mean, when this movie starts, you don't realize she's the protagonist. Like, you would have no way of knowing which one of these characters is going to make it to the end of the movie, which is great.
What do all those buttons do? Why do they need that many buttons?
They all perform a function, which is a big spaceship.
It's creepy when the facehugger finally falls down. But I'm just picturing, like, there's a guy on a ladder just holding the thing, waiting to drop it.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like such an organic, real thing.
I believe it
little
was.
fleshy flap.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like oysters or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and earlier in the egg, apparently that was like
cow
stomach. Yeah.
Those tripe, the lining of a cow's stomach.
Yeah. Use
Yeah,
real
this is like
real
fish guts.
Yeah, use real goo. And that's what I love about this movie, is it combines so many elements of, like, it's a sci-fi movie, it's a slasher movie for a little while, and then all this stuff with the face hugger, it's like body horror. The scene later on when Harry Dean Stanton is in that room and there's just those hanging chains and the water dripping, like, it's great.
Why are there hanging chains? What is that room? I guess we should talk about it when that room is on the screen.
It's the chain room, Rich.
I love all this shaking. Mm-hmm. It's great.
You can picture the crew members like off the side, rocking the set.
Yeah, and I think Ridley Scott did a lot of his own handheld work for this, so he's behind the camera just shaking it.
Did they land the entire Nostromo? Or some sort of support craft? I always forget. It's so big when it shows it going up.
Yeah.
And then she's got that little tiny pod that she escapes in.
Yeah.
They didn't land that whole fucking oil refinery, did they?
I believe they did.
Oh,
we were
my.
talking over all that stuff about something unrelated, but I believe they did.
It's space, Mike. They can do what they want.
That's true.
Still, you have a support craft that goes down.
Right.
John Hurt was also the host of. Did you ever see the Jim Henson series, The Storyteller? He was like the narrator for it. He's like the Crypt Keeper type character that introduced all the stories. It was a good show.
Just remember one about a guy who caught death in a bag and then he couldn't die.
I don't remember that one. So we're approaching the famous dinner scene, right?
Yes.
I think that's right after
Oh,
this. Oh yeah, here we go.
And people still smoke in the future.
It's so far in the future that people smoke again.
Oh, okay, it came back around.
They cured cancer.
Oh,
So
great.
Bring
That makes sense,
cigarettes
Rich.
back out.
That
Yep.
makes sense.
We need a prequel film to explain all this to us, Rich.
Every cigarette is doing you damage. Every time you inhale, tobacco smoke condenses in your lungs to form tar.
We have identified the genetic chain of events behind 98% of cancers. A chain we have broken, effectively curing them.
The misconception is that none of the actors knew that the facehugger was going to come out.
That's what they always say.
But
yeah.
they all really knew, and they shot it in segments, and then at first it didn't work right. Like it didn't rip through the shirt, so they had to redo it, and everyone had to leave. But the one thing that was really the shocking part was the amount of blood splatter.
Oh, okay.
The force of the
You're saying
Yeah.
the face hugger, you mean the chest burster. I
chest
assume.
burster. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Sorry. Because it's like BAM, and then it shot all over Veronica
Cartwright freaked
And
out, I know that.
Like, yeah, and then they show her she slips on blood and falls over. And the orange juice did not get knocked over during that whole scene. I find that hard to believe.
Mike, this space they have magnetic glasses because you don't want your glass floating around in the zero gravity.
That's very true.
There's no zero gravity. There's artificial gravity.
It might go out, it might break. And you don't want your glass floating around. It'll break, there'll be shards of glass everywhere when after it bumps into the wall. It's very important to have magnetic glass.
I need a prequel to explain about the orange juice container.
I know.
Rich, we're on the scene with the chains.
Oh my God! Why are there chains? Why are there chains? And why is there so much water? Why is there an ancient medieval torture chamber on this spaceship?
I believe Ridley Scott explained the water dripping was like condensation, like this is some sort of cooling room or something.
Yeah. That makes sense. Water in a ship, big ass ship.
Yeah.
Got to cool the engines, that sort of thing. And it's not time to cool down, Harry Dean Stanton. There's an alien around.
If this is a cooling chamber, wouldn't that water be like very hot?
Oh my God, such a nerd. He's such a nerd. Anyways, okay, so here's the alien.
Yeah, we finally get a glimpse of the alien. Here's our beauty shot of the alien head, which they completely redesigned for aliens.
Yeah, it has like weird ridges and stuff all over it.
James Cameron is such an egomaniac. He didn't want to go to H.R. Giger He's like, H.R. Giger will want to have input into the design of the Alien Queen, and he can't. I have to, because I'm James Cameron.
Really? H.R. Giger had no...
He had nothing to do with... They went back to him for Alien 3, and he came up with concepts that were so fucking bizarre, they were like, no thanks!
For Alien 3?
For Alien 3. Like, he wanted to have, like, a puma-like alien with claws, and he wanted an alien where... it had like a woman's mouth, like a woman's lips, and like a human tongue, like really weird shit. Because he's H.R. Giger, and they're like, okay, and they slowly backed out of the room.
Go back to Switzerland or Sweden or whatever you're from. Here's the scanner, the motion tracker that looks exactly like the motion tracker from Aliens.
Now, Rich, I know you're a fan of Fight Club. Did you ever notice, because that's David Fincher, in one of the montages when they're in the video store and they're like erasing all the VHS tapes, that it's an entire end cap of Alien 3?
Oh, really?
Yeah. As far as I know, that's the only time he's ever commented on Alien 3. Because he's just completely disowned that movie.
Not having ever given that much thought to Alien 3, I don't know that it struck me that he was the same director until after I'd already seen Fight Club.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was his first feature, and he just got completely fucked over.
I love that corridor set.
Yeah.
It's so grimy and dark, claustrophobic.
Yeah, everything feels so... And I think this was somewhat influenced by Star Wars in that all this stuff feels so lived in.
Oh, here it is.
And real. He just wants a hug. Boo! Veronica Cartwright crying all the time. What a useless character.
She was a character that we connected with, because all of us would feel the same way as her.
That's true.
Yeah, without that, it's not realistic.
Yeah.
I'd be crying like a baby.
I would be curled up in a corner just waiting for everybody to get killed before me.
Actually, you know what? I probably would have gotten on the escape pod a long time ago.
I was just going to say that. Here's
Fuck
a
everyone
real question. Let's all get on the escape pod.
Yeah.
Do you remember the escape pod? Let's get on that.
Because there's got to be more than one escape pod. I mean, having an escape pod and there's just like one cryopod in it, that wouldn't make any sense. There's got to be enough room for all of them to escape.
If there's some sort of horrific disaster on the ship, yeah, I suppose so.
Like being rampaged by a monster.
Mr. Andrews, forgive me. I did the sum in my head, and with the number of lifeboats times the capacity you mentioned, forgive me, but it seems that there are not enough for everyone aboard.
Not half, actually. Sleep soundly, young Rose. I have built you a good ship, strong and true.
Well, the real reason, of course, Ash has ulterior motives here.
Yeah.
But if they... Well, what is specifically are his motives? Because if they get in the escape pod, you still know where the alien is, and you can send a team to pick up the alien on the Nostromo later.
That's true.
Well, Ash was an early android who malfunctioned, so maybe he was not smart enough to come up with these ulterior, like, scenarios. He does snap pretty easily once Sigourney Weaver pushes him or something.
Oh, yeah.
Then he grabs a porno magazine and tries to shove it down her throat. Which was not scripted.
That was an accident. Bilbo Baggins was just really pissed at Sigourney Weaver that day.
Yeah. Well, and Ridley Scott's like, just film it. It's great. We'll use it.
You know, what would be nice is that this is the closest he ever gets to a sexual relationship.
Yeah, here's another part. I wish I could see this movie for the first time when his head comes off.
Yeah.
It's so great. And I love the design of the android, like his guts. It's not just like typical robot parts. It's like milk and like condoms. Like it looks like weird rubbery tubes and... There's that line from Yaphet Kotto where he's like, Ash was a goddamn android! And it sounds like...
It's a robot. Ash is a goddamn robot.
He says it off camera. It's clearly like 80 yard, and it's like, that's the studio saying, we have to explain what this milkman is.
Yeah.
They're not going to get that it's a robot.
I think he was just filled with cum. This upcoming head scene, though, does not hold up.
Yeah, there's a really awkward edit. And it's funny, I was listening to the Ridley Scott commentary, and he makes a point of saying how proud he is of that edit. He's like, this is a very, very good edit here. It's like, oh, that's funny. It's like the worst edit in the movie.
So here it is.
Yeah, like we cut from this, and then...
It won't sit up,
It won't
right?
sit up, and then... Bloop. Oh my god.
as editors ourselves, we would say, let's put a little cutaway in between these.
Yeah, cut to them moving the head or something. But cutting from that shot to a very similar shot of the real head is
I think
a little awkward.
Proud enough to, they thought that it matched up. But
well, according to the commentary, Ridley Scott thinks it's seamless. So
perfect.
Thank you.
Absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Bilbo Baggins. That head had a weird smirk.
Real.
It had a smile on it like the big furry monster thing in Labyrinth. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember that character's name, but the
David Bowie? Yeah, just get in the escape pod. That's a big plot hole that you discovered.
Unless there's a line of dialogue that mentions why they don't. It's possible.
They're doing that now, aren't they?
Oh yeah, you're right. They are.
Yeah.
They're going to get more like fuel or something. They have to fill that cart up with.
Yeah. Maybe could you try and like lure the alien into an escape pod and then jettison it?
That sounds pretty dangerous.
That's what they do in Alien 3, Jim.
I wouldn't want to get anywhere near that thing. Well, yeah, but they have all these big corridors and stuff. This place is way more claustrophobic.
Just throw a bunch of meat in a escape pod and see what it does.
Yeah, I guess they don't know that it's not trying to just eat people, right?
Yeah.
Or just put Veronica Cartwright in there.
Yeah, fuck her.
Draw straws.
There's that goddamn cat.
There's Jonesy. Sigourney Weaver was allergic to the cat.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
No. Didn't it turn out that it wasn't the cat?
It was KY jelly or something.
It was something with like the fake perspiration that they were spraying around or something like that.
She thought it was the cat.
She thought it was the cat. See, he wants a hug again. Look at him.
That tail needs more articulation.
You can do that with CGI now.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can do that with CGI. Yeah, this entire ending here with Ripley just running around by herself. This is like
dropping that cat all over the place. Is that the cat in the box?
She's in a hurry. That cat should be thankful that it's getting any attention at all.
The cat is low priority.
Yeah. Not for Ripley for some reason.
The cat doesn't know that though. The cat's just, why are you throwing me around in this box?
That's true.
Okay, here's the Nostromo explosion, which I don't know what to make of this.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, it's not fine, Rich. It's not fine.
The thing that blows up with space, but you want? You want a ring to fly out from it?
They need to add a ring.
I believe that's actually like a series of paintings, if I recall from the commentary.
Yeah, well, it sucks. It keeps happening. Oh my god.
This is the end of 2001.
Yeah, it becomes into 2001. This always struck me as slightly uncomfortable.
The fact that she doesn't have her underwear pulled up all the way?
Well, this whole it almost seems like this is...
She's extra vulnerable.
I guess.
It's Janet Leigh in the shower in Psycho.
What? The fuck is that a reference to?
It's a reference to Janet Leigh in the shower in Psycho. She's vulnerable.
What, a movie about a psycho? What was it called?
It's called The Birds.
Oh, yeah.
You love where it looks like it's a part of the ship and it's alien?
Not just that, but I love the fact that it's just laying in there.
Yeah, it was napping. It's tired from killing everybody.
I guess it's very insect-like. There's a nasty bug somewhere and you don't know where it's at. And then
sure.
you see it.
Yeah.
Where it's not. It's almost like not an intelligent creature, as it's been set up to be. Mm-hmm. Before it's sneaking up on people and killing them, and it's just it knows she's there. Yeah. But it's just laying in there, going yeah. It's creepy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This underwear stuff feels very exploitive. It feels very.
This
sleazy.
shot here, yeah.
Especially that shot there. Ridley Scott is a sex pervert.
Of course, obviously.
This was his first movie. He's got to do something to make it ahead.
I wonder if a producer came in. You get this lady in her underwear.
I don't know. I think it is just a case of an easy way to make her seem more vulnerable.
I guess it's more tasteful than the wet t-shirt machine in.
What was the name of that movie? Alien from the Deep.
Yeah.
which has some similarities to Aliens.
Some. It was shot on film. It had people in it.
So now he's waking up. He's like, what the fuck?
Who's putting all this smoke in my face? I wish my head wasn't so big. Hit easier.
We should have done this whole commentary. It was just you speaking for the alien. It's nuts.
It's just a misunderstood creature.
Glad you hung all these chains here. It was easy for me to hide up on them.
I just want a hug. Give me a hug.
I'm scared. It's me.
Oh, God.
Then she shoots it with a cable, and it catches onto the cable. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's
a little B movie.
That's a little B movie.
Yeah, but that's all right. Maybe give it credit.
We've come this far. It's okay at this point.
Tries to get in the engine. It was so nice they played it thrice. It's the exact ending of Aliens.
Without crawling up into the engine.
You know what always bugged me about Aliens is that the whole time she's constantly going, Newt, close your eyes. Newt, do this. Except for the end when she opens the fucking cargo bay door and doesn't bother to... Newt, hang on to something! She's just like, she'll figure it out after a couple seconds.
It'd be funny if Newt went like flying past her.
Bishop flies past her too.
Why'd you open the fucking door?
And so does Hicks.
It's just...
He's still sleeping.
I can finally sleep peacefully now.
And then she wakes up again and falls into another nightmare.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up a third time and it's another nightmare and then she kills herself.
Yeah.
And that's the story of Ripley.